The main question I had been asking this entire time was like, why would this person lie to me? Why would they need to lie to me? Why would they need another person that wasn't me? And I realize now, I look back and none of it usually is about you.
Down, yeah. I've been feeling so.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Ishrans. If you're new here, I'm Ishra or Fish. As you can see, it's a different setup, different lighting. I know it's not the best lighting, but I just really needed to get a video out. I have not been filming enough and I've not been putting out enough content and I feel really bad, so I really needed to get this out. Anyways, future Ishra interjection. Yes, I can travel time. Yes, I am just that big. I didn't like the intro that I filmed after this point, hence why I am here in my truest form, hobo form. Basically, what I want to tell you guys is that after I've edited this video, which is right now, while I'm editing this video, I realized that today's Ishrans episode is not really an Ishrans episode, it's more of an ishreflection because I was giving more advice and like reflecting on my actions than I was just ranting. This is going to be very much focused on relationship and how I felt and a lot of like personal things. So get ready for some tea. And one more thing, this version of me will jump scare multiple times throughout this video because I realized while editing I'm terrible at speaking, so I need to explain the concepts again, and hence you will see me. So yeah, anyways, I won't hold you here any longer, so let's jump right into the video. Let's go. Okay, so the last time you guys saw me, what did I look like? I was like blonde, and I was talking about my insecurities, about how I looked, and that sounds so shallow, right? I should want to aspire to be the kind of girl that people look to for inspiration, the kind of girl who has depth, who has personality, who's intelligent, right? But I don't want to be. I want to be the kind of pretty that it's like she's effortlessly pretty. I've just completed my first year of uni and it's like I'm a completely different person. I really don't feel the same way at all from when I made that video, and it's so crazy to look back at that video and see how much I have like grown as a person.
And another thing I didn't get to mention is that it's almost like it's a full circle moment. Like I realize now my insecurities were heightened in a way due to the relationships I was in at the time, and my relationships with people have evolved, and like the kind of people I hang around is so different. My mindset has completely changed, and that's why it's so important to really evaluate and reflect on relationships, because that really is a big factor to who you are as a person. But yeah, generally I think I've transformed so much just from switching up who I hang around, and on top of that, changing how I perceive and approach relationships.
I literally have my notes here for this video, which I didn't do before. If you couldn't already tell from the title, I'm going to be talking a lot about the relationships I've been in and the lessons I've learned. So if you were watching because of the title and you thought it's something to do with my virginity or like sex, you're about to be disappointed, because that's not what today's video is going to be about. However, I will be releasing a video regarding that topic real soon, so stay tuned. But yeah, I just feel like the main thing that I learned from the relationships I've experienced this year is that I lost my sense of naiveness. And it's like crazy because I look back at like photos of when I was in those relationships or situationships, and there was so much that I did not know, and there's so much I want to tell myself. So me making this video is kind of like me trying to tell past Ishra what I should have known before, but also I think there's a sort of beauty that comes with not knowing and just experiencing things for the first time. So I would do it all over again. You know, I don't regret anything. In fact, that leads me to what I actually want to say before I like talk about all these relationships, because I do want to respect the people I experienced them with and I don't want to bring them down. So I want to acknowledge really quickly that these people aren't bad people. I want to say the last person I was in a relationship, situationship with, I am very grateful for the experiences I had. The love that I had for this person helped me to write some of the most beautiful poems I'd ever written, and I just want to really quickly express how thankful I am that they were in my life. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, now that I've said my thank yous, so how is it that this person, who's someone who brought out the most love in me, how is it that they became the lesson of why I shouldn't be so naive? Well, this person made a lot of promises, said a lot of sweet things at the beginning, and once they got me hooked, switched up. This kind of woke me up in a way and showed me that, hey, you're making the same mistakes again. Because I had this repeated pattern of every guy that I liked, every person that I liked and fell in love with, I gave them my all. It's not wrong to love people with your full heart, I want to clarify, but I think one thing we need to understand sometimes is that not everybody deserves your love, especially if you love purely. Because very rarely Real life is like movies where you just fall in love and you know he's the one. But the problem with me was that every single time I thought he was the one. When I found out a lot of the things that this person was saying was lies, and their real characters started to unfold, because you can only play a character for so long, it kind of made me question why. But at the same time, it taught me, one, of course, not to be so naive to just believe people, but two, and the more important thing is two, is that whatever people do is not your fault. Because the main question I had been asking this entire time was like, why would this person lie to me? Why would they need to lie to me? Why would they need another person that wasn't me? Was I not good enough? And I realize now, I look back, and none of it usually is about you. So if there's one thing I would tell my past self, it's definitely don't try to dig within yourself to find why people don't treat you well. Ask yourself, does it hurt me? And try to find ways to soothe yourself. Quit asking yourself why people do it, because you'll never get the answers. You can't foresee someone who's scheming against you. I mean, learn as you go. You'll be able to pick up the signs, but never blame yourself. I just want to emphasize this because I don't want you to take my video and think, okay, Ishra said this and these are the signs you need to look for in men, and stress yourself out every time you're in a relationship. Just experience, babes, just experience. But if you feel like, oh, this is not right, trust yourself and pull yourself out of the situation for a second. It doesn't mean you have to break up with the person, but take yourself out of the situation for the second and ask yourself. That's why, again, coming back to it, ask yourself, how does this make me feel? And if it makes you feel shitty, if it makes you feel insecure and you're not really known to be an insecure person, then you know that is the source of your stress and you need to cut the cords. So yeah, that is very important, and that's something I wanted to share. I think with the most recent situationship, I felt kind of guilty because it wasn't even a relationship. I didn't even know him a long time. It was only 2 months. Why does this hurt so bad? I think the worst part about what this person did to me was, as I mentioned earlier, like the lies, because I didn't feel like he had any reason to lie. But it's just the sheer fact that this person knew why I had trust issues. And at the time in which we broke things off, I had been going through a lot. Just the worst things you could possibly imagine happening to me at the same time, and this person chose to retaliate and kick me at my lowest. I just had so much anger from that. But in a weird way though, it's kind of good that this anger rose, because without that anger, I don't think I would have been able to pull myself out of the situation. And that's why I say it's very important to ask yourself how you feel about what people do to you, because once you identify that, that's when you can make the right decisions for yourself. But it's so important to acknowledge that for once I had matured, because there's something that my mom told me that I think is really important, and that is, it is a lot easier to hurt people than it is to feel hurt. Because to be hurt and to feel pain is to be vulnerable, and to be vulnerable is to be strong. I know a lot of people feel that silence or not retaliating is only going to benefit that person, but I found personally, and I'm not saying everybody has to deal with their situation the same way as I did, and everybody experiences different situations anyways, but I did find a sense of peace in knowing that this person never got to see the full extent, at least visually, of how much they impacted me. That despite all the chaos and all the hurt that I was experiencing, even with this person trying to deliver their final blow to me, I was still gonna pick myself up and I was still gonna keep living my life, and this person was not gonna stop me in my track, because that's what they wanted to see and I wasn't gonna give it to them. But wishing peace upon somebody and then them doing the worst possible thing imaginable to you, that does stick with you psychologically. I have to admit, and I do think that some of that pain I'm still bringing on to me today. I can't say that I'm fully recovered. I do think that I've progressed so much, and I don't want this person back in my life for sure. But I think for once in my life, I'm acknowledging that I'm not okay with what they did to me. And it's a good thing to acknowledge those kind of things, because then you tell yourself that and you won't accept that kind of behavior again. Sometimes you're so quick to be like, no, that didn't bother me. No, I'm good, like that person didn't even have a single impact on me. But sometimes it's, if you just acknowledge that this person did this to you and hurt you in that way, that then you're also able to at the same time say, I'm not going to accept that kind of behavior again. I'm not going to let anyone hurt me in that way again. And I think that's also very important. That's why I say vulnerability is a sign of strength. I guess moving on to other relationships now, my biggest fear is now that I myself will hurt other people the way this person hurt me. And some days that feels really unfair, because why do I have to be burdened with this fear when this person did not hesitate to hurt me in this way? It's just that it's a little scary sometimes when I catch myself in the act. I catch myself on the verge of hurting somebody else the same way this person in my past has hurt me. In a way, it feels like I'm tainted. It feels like I'm damaged goods. And I feel awful when I realize what I am doing. For a second, it kind of feels like he's won. You got to me because now I'm hurting other people. But going back to what I said earlier, I need to stop blaming myself for things that other people did to me. And I'm not damaged, I'm learning. The sheer fact that I reminded myself and caught myself in the action and told myself, no, I'm not going to hurt this person the way that person hurt me. I think that's something worth applauding for. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this experience, but as long as you do your best, it's all that matters. The pain that insecure people give, it always feels so real and so deep and so long lasting, but the truth is it's usually very shallow. It's a very shallow cut. I say this because when you realize, as I keep saying throughout this video, when you realize that what people do is a projection of their own actions, all you need to tell yourself then is it's to separate yourself from this equation. It's like they did that because of what they were going through. It has nothing to do with me, and you can find peace within yourself. And adding on to that, what has helped me with minimizing the pain is just really telling myself, people don't owe me anything. To reduce expectations, really. People don't, like, if I love this person a certain way, I'm not gonna expect them to love me back. You can have my love. I give you my love full-heartedly. What you choose to do with it is up to you, because at the end of the day, I find joy from giving you my love. Instead of, I find joy from how you react to my love. How people react to your love is no longer your responsibility, but you can take how they react as feedback, and then you can ask yourself, okay, how do I feel about that? Don't try to attach meaning to people's actions, because very rarely you know exactly why people do the things that they do. And when you attach, like, oh, this person said they love me so they will marry me, this person bought me flowers, they are the one, this person didn't reply to my message immediately or in the way that I want or with the emojis that I thought they would use, therefore they're cheating on me. That's what causes that extreme of emotions and that unneeded stress, because when you just see things as what they are, you're able to kind of make more logical and more stable decisions, and you're able to be more at peace. And that's what I am working towards.
Then again, take everything I say with a grain of salt, because you must remember as well, if somebody's repeatedly showing you that they don't value your love, pick your bags up and leave, you know what I mean? But I think where I'm coming from is that people are allowed to leave your life as they came into your life, So not creating like such intense attachments was a lesson that I found really benefited me.
What I'm saying is not very relevant to everybody, but that's what I found that I want to work towards when I'm approaching relationships moving forward. I don't really want to create expectations. I think you can create desires, goals that you want to achieve with a person. I think that's very healthy, but to expect that every person you come into, whoever you cross paths with, to always match with you is really unrealistic and can kind of set you up to feel the worst kind of pain in the end, because you didn't get to live out those expectations, one, but also because when the reality is so different, it can really crush your soul and make you feel so demotivated that there's no chance at ever finding the love of your life. But that's not true. I'm here to tell you that that's not true, as someone who's like single right now and like barely making it through the day. But I know because my parents told me this, and they're in a beautiful long-term relationship. So if they're lying, you can take it up with them. Just kidding. At the end of the day, I'm just grateful that I get to be in a space and in an environment where I get to be honest with myself. I don't think with my parents I really have, like I said, I don't have to lie. So I get to just be my full authentic self, and that has done wonders for my personal and self-growth, and it's allowed me to be authentic and genuine to people. And I want to stay that way. I don't think I can really buy into this concept of like, I joke about it with my friends, like, yeah, city girls up, we being toxic, but like to actually live that up and hurt people on purpose, I couldn't do it. All these lessons I keep at my heart, and I continue to feel and love. And you know what, so this is gonna sound so stupid after all I said about how I'm no longer naive and I'm not just gonna take things for surface level and fall in love with people and expect the best of the best, I still love being in love. I think that's my favorite thing. My favorite hobby. I love being in love with someone. I love having a crush on someone. I miss that. I actually miss being in love, and I can't wait to be in love. But I guess the difference now is that I know my love is, I mean, not anybody's just worthy of my love. I took so long, like to put it into perspective, I took so long to get where I'm at, to be my authentic self and to be honest and to really love myself. Took me so long. I shouldn't just be giving my love to anybody else who isn't willing to put the same amount of work that I put into myself. Because when I love people, I really put the work into it for them and try to be there for them. I don't want to anymore love someone who doesn't know how to appreciate my love, because that would leave me with so much disappointment. I don't think I want to love someone who I know personally isn't exactly what I'm looking for, but I think I can change them, or I think I can help them grow, because that's unfair to them. That's like saying that they're not good enough to be with me, so I need to change them first before I can love them. That's also messed up on my end, you know what I mean? And I can look back at all my relationships and be happy that they happened. So if there's one final thing I could say to my past self, is don't be afraid to fall in love. I would, like I said, I think I said this a lot earlier as well, I would do it all over again. So yeah, thank you for watching today's Ishrens. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Discuss in the comments if you feel or relate to this at all. If you want to share this video with somebody, please do. It helps me out so much. Like, comment, subscribe. That also helps me a lot. If you haven't followed me on my socials, which is very unlikely because you probably are from my socials, this is my Instagram, my Snapchat, and do I have any other? TikTok. Yeah. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!